If your preschooler isn't getting somewhat frustrated during their learning time, you are wasting their time. Conventional wisdom warns us that if a young child gets frustrated while studying, we are pushing entirely too hard and need to immediately back off. But stopping at the very first sign of struggle is exactly how you hardwire the "I'm just not good at maths" mindset into your child's brain. The cold truth is that completely smooth, easy learning sessions are a massive red flag. They indicate false progression. If you want a child with unbreakable academic confidence, you have to stop stealing their struggle. I'm a father of two, and when I realized standard educational tools were failing to build real resilience, I actually built 11T School for my own boys. I used this exact friction framework to help my son become an intensely confident learner, and I'm going to show you exactly how to survive their frustration to get results like this. The absolute worst thing you can do when your child hits a wall is swoop in and give them the answer, because you are silently teaching them that struggle is something to be rescued from. When you sit there and quickly correct every mistake as they make it, you aren't being a good teacher. You are robbing them of the friction required to grow. A completely smooth, easy learning session isn't a victory. It's actually a symptom of false progression. It means they aren't being challenged enough to form new neural pathways. If you keep feeding them easy wins, the second they encounter real difficulty in elementary school, their ego will completely shatter. You're probably thinking, but I don't want them to hate learning or cry over math. Therefore, you download gamified edutainment apps that constantly flash 100% and shoot off confetti to keep them happy. The problem is, that happiness is just a cheap dopamine spike, not intrinsic motivation. They aren't actually learning the subject, they are just learning how to press the right cartoon button. This is exactly why you have to radically redefine a good learning day in your household. A good day is no longer, they got all the answers right. A genuinely good day is, they faced a really tough problem, got frustrated, but pushed through it. It's like going to the gym. If your muscles aren't burning, you aren't getting stronger. But how do you actually implement this without losing your mind or ruining your relationship with your child in the process? Actually, there is a built-in advantage you have that completely eliminates the stress. Because you are the parent of a preschooler, you possess the ultimate educational asset that traditional schools completely lack: the total luxury of time. In a normal classroom, the syllabus aggressively moves forward on Tuesday, whether your child mastered Monday's concept or not. That institutional pressure is what causes silent learning gaps to compound into major adolescent anxiety. At home, you have zero curriculum pressure. You can afford to let your 3-year-old spend an entire month wrestling with just one single mathematical challenge without ever viewing them as falling behind. But we are so conditioned by the traditional grading system that we panic if they don't immediately get it. We feel like we are failing as parents, or they are failing as students, if they stay stuck on the exact same quiz for 3 weeks straight. You have to accept the reality of the true mastery timeline. Some concepts will suddenly click, and your child will breeze through them in 2 days flat. Others will require weeks of deliberate, highly messy struggle. This is why our standard for true competence is ruthless. A skill is only considered fully mastered when a child scores 100% for 5 consecutive days. When you give them the luxury of time to finally hit that 5-day mark, the pride they feel is permanent. But the most powerful part of this entire system happens right after they succeed. When you take a step back, stop being their stressful teacher, and instead act as the calm architect of their environment, everything changes. By allowing a child the psychological space to wrestle with a tough concept entirely alone, they develop an incredible, lifelong tolerance for academic discomfort. You aren't just teaching them phonics or math, you are securing their foundation so you can buy back their childhood freedom later. When they hit middle school, they will be the top-performing learner who actually has time to play outside, entirely unshakable when things get hard. Now, allowing them to struggle through to that 5-day mastery green is critical. But there is one final psychological trick you must use to lock in this new confident identity forever. The moment they finally master that difficult skill, you have to immediately flip the script on them. Ask your child to sit down and proudly teach you exactly how to solve the problem. If you want a done-for-you curriculum that automates this entire mastery process and completely eliminates the daily guesswork, click the link below to get started with 11T School and start building your child's unshakable success cycle today.